everybody, my name's Robin Preby. I'm one of the dietitians at Green Mountain at Fox Run, which is an all-women's health and fitness resort in Ludlow, Vermont. And today we're looking at how to make green smoothies, which you may have heard people talking about having green smoothies. Personally, when I first heard about drinking your greens, I didn't think it was something that I would like, but actually now that I've tried them, they're quite good. And one of the benefits of working with something like a green smoothie is that you can get a tremendous amount of greens into one drink. And there are a lot of health benefits of green leafy vegetables. Most people are trying to eat them more frequently but don't do a great job of it. Some of the things that we're getting from green leafy vegetables would be a good source of magnesium, iron, calcium, good for folic acid, as well as vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin K, great source of fiber. And you could eat greens on a daily basis, but it's a little bit easier in a smoothie to get a large amount in one shot. Plus, one of the benefits that I find is that if I was going to eat greens, most of the time I'm going to do it in the form of a salad, which would require adding some dressing or added fat. And I find with a smoothie, it takes the added fat out of the equation. And honestly, they taste pretty good. So I'm going to show you some basics on how to put together a green smoothie. And the first thing you want to start with is make sure that you have a good blender. When I first started making green smoothies, I would just use my regular household blender, and honestly, if you have to chew it, it's not a smoothie. And so switching over to a more high-power blender, this one happens to be a Vitamix. Blendtec would be another really high-power blender. But they really get it into a very smooth consistency, which is what you're looking for. And then choosing the fruits and vegetables that you're going to use in your smoothie, you do want to pick from a wide variety of greens. So you don't want to just get stuck on one and keep using kale over and over again for your smoothie. Variety is probably the #1 principle of good nutrition, and we would want variety in all food groups. So try to pick different greens every time. I'll walk you through a few that seem to work better than others for smoothies. My personal opinion on how to put together a green smoothie is I like a combination of fruit, greens, some sort of citrus, and usually water as a base. You may come across green smoothie recipes where people are using protein powders or even dairy products like milk or yogurt as a base, or some of the more viscous fruits like banana. Personally, I like them a little bit on the thinner side, so I don't really love those kind of dairy or banana combinations with greens, but it's worth a try. What we're going to do today is more of the combinations that I like. So I find that when you're putting together a green smoothie, clearly you're going to start with greens. The ones that I found that work pretty well, kale is very good. Chard is good as well. Spinach works well. You can do mixed greens. Sometimes you'll get some unusual greens in there. I got surprised by arugula the other day. Didn't really love it in a smoothie, but you can give it a shot. Other ones to think about would also be turnip greens. I don't have any here today, but that works pretty well. And beet greens also are very good in a green smoothie. So starting with a green, and you can mix it up. I usually just do one at a time. And then pairing that up with some sort of citrus fruit, whether it's orange, lemon, or lime, or if you don't have those, sometimes I'll just use a shot of lemon or lime juice. Also, then I like to make sure that you have a couple other fruits, particularly some that are very sweet, because greens can be a little bit bitter, so having some sweet fruit to pair it up with can balance out that bitterness. And the ones that I tend to prefer, I really like grapes a lot, and also pineapple's pretty sweet. And then I'll usually add one more fruit, something a little bit more neutral, like an apple or kiwi. Also, if you get them in season, peaches could be a very sweet fruit. Berries work well. Strawberries, that would be another neutral fruit. So usually I'm picking a fairly neutral fruit, a very sweet fruit, some citrus, and greens. And then if I'm feeling like it, which often I do, I'll add a fairly neutral vegetable like cucumber or celery. And that tends to be a good combination. So today we're going to put together a smoothie, and I'm going to subject my friend to it because that's the most fun part of making green smoothies, is making other people drink them. So the one that we're going to do today is going to be kale based, and I'm using for citrus both oranges, and I used a lime too. And because this blender is high powered, I usually will just peel it and then put the whole thing in there. Let's see, we'll put a little ice water in there for a base. And you'll notice I'm putting the entire stem in for the kale. And we're also going to use grapes, cucumber, and apple for this combination. So this is where it's going to get fairly loud, so bear with me. But the nice part about these kind of blenders is that you can pick up the speed over time. So usually I'll start with a very slow speed and then pick it up. accepting my friend Lisa Christie here at Green Mountain to one of these smoothies. You've never had one before, right?
Never.
All right, so either you'll love it or you'll pretend that you do. All right.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. I do like it.
Not bad, right?
It's not bad at all.
Yep.
I would definitely get my vegetables in this way.
Yeah, and that's usually how I would use it now that I'm wiping smoothie on my face. I might use it as a vegetable serving for a meal. So you might want to keep your starch and your protein in a solid form. So having something like a turkey sandwich with a green smoothie on the side, or chili, you know, you got your protein and your starch from the rice, and then having that as a vegetable serving. People might use it as a snack too, but basically because it's just a fruit and vegetable, you probably want to mix it up with other foods, make it a little bit more satisfying. But maybe you'll make
Great.
this at home.
Thanks a lot, Robin.
You're welcome.